If you've ever felt that you can read in English, understand individual words, or even write a few sentences, but when someone speaks to you in English, it feels like you can't understand a thing, let me tell you that you're not alone. Listening comprehension is one of the hardest parts to master in any language, and when it comes to English, it can be especially frustrating. Today, I want you to change that mindset. Today, I'm going to show you how you can train your ears to understand spoken English, and best of all, faster than you think. It's not magic. It's not a trick that works overnight, but with the right steps and a bit of consistency, you're going to notice a huge improvement in your ability to listen to and understand English, whether it's in conversations, movies, songs, series, and more. Why it's hard to understand spoken English. When you learn English in a classroom or through books, everything tends to feel more structured. The words are separated, you can stop and analyze each sentence, and if you don't understand something, you can look it up in a dictionary. But when someone speaks to you in English, it's a different story. The words seem all mashed together, the sounds blend, and you don't have time to pause the conversation and look up each word you don't understand. One of the main challenges you face is what we call connected speech. In spoken English, words are often not pronounced individually. Instead, they merge with the words around them. This happens naturally in most languages, but in English, the way words blend together can make them sound completely different from how they appear in writing. A typical example is the phrase, "What do you want to do?" In a fast conversation, it might sound more like, "What do you want to do?" where several words combine into one chain of sounds. This phenomenon can be confusing, but it's not impossible to overcome. The important thing is to understand that it's not about learning more words or memorizing more grammar. It's about training your ear to listen and recognize these patterns of connected speech. Active listening, the key to success. One of the most common mistakes English learners make is thinking that just being exposed to the language is enough to improve. But here's an important tip. It's not enough to listen to English in the background. Putting on an English movie while doing something else, or listening to English songs without paying attention, won't give you the results you're hoping for. To improve your listening comprehension, you need to practice what's called active listening. Active listening means giving your full attention to what you're hearing. It's not just about letting the sounds go through your ears, but focusing on what is being said, how it's being said, which words are repeated, what the rhythm of the conversation is, and even on the tones and pauses. As you practice active listening, your brain will begin to pick up on the most common words and phrases, and little by little, those chains of sounds that used to seem incomprehensible will start to make sense. Here are some steps to practice active listening. Choose content that matches your level. There's no point in starting with something extremely difficult. If you're at an intermediate or beginner level, start with audio and videos that are within your reach. You can use videos with English subtitles to help you at first. Listen several times. The first time you listen to an audio clip, you probably won't understand everything, and that's okay. Listen to it again. With each repetition, your ear will pick up more details that you missed the first time. Identify key words. Don't try to understand every word at first. Focus on catching the key words, the ones that give you an idea of the general topic of the conversation. Watch how words connect. Pay attention to how words are linked in natural speech. Identify those combinations like gonna, going to, wanna, want to, what do you, and others. Repeat what you hear. Repetition is key. Listen to a phrase and try to repeat it out loud, mimicking the pronunciation and rhythm. This will not only improve your comprehension, but also your pronunciation. Context is everything. Another crucial factor in improving your listening skills is learning to rely on context. Often, Even when native English speakers are conversing, they don't understand every word literally. They rely heavily on context to fill in the gaps, and that's exactly what you should do. Imagine you're watching a movie, and in one scene, someone says something about going to the beach. Even if you don't understand every word they said, if the context of the scene involves sun, sand, and waves, it's likely you can deduce that they're talking about going to the beach. Context provides you with clues that can help you understand what you're not able to catch just from the words. When you rely on context, not only do you reduce your anxiety about not understanding every word, but you also train your brain to process information more efficiently. This is exactly what native speakers do when they find themselves in situations where they don't understand everything that's being said. Constant exposure. Create your own immersion environment. One reason why children learn their native language so quickly is that they're completely surrounded by it from the moment they're born. They're immersed in the language. They hear it constantly, and that allows their brain to process and understand it naturally. You can do the same, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country. The key is to create your own immersion environment by surrounding yourself with the language as much as possible. This means listening to English every day, even when you're not actively studying. You can start with things that interest you. If you like music, listen to songs in English and try to follow along with the lyrics. If you enjoy movies or TV shows, try watching them in English without subtitles or with English subtitles to associate the sounds with the words. Podcasts and audiobooks are also excellent tools for improving your listening because you can listen to them anytime, while walking, exercising, or even cooking. Remember, quantity matters. The more time you spend exposed to English, the easier it will be for your brain to pick up the patterns and rhythms of the language. Don't limit yourself to studying just 1 hour a day. Try to integrate English into your daily life naturally. Use technology to learn faster. Today, technology offers us a wealth of tools that can make learning English much more accessible and effective. Apps like Duolingo, Memrise, and Babbel can help you expand your vocabulary and improve your grammar. But if you really want to focus on listening comprehension, I recommend using platforms like YouTube, Netflix, and Spotify. On YouTube, you can find videos of native English speakers on almost any topic. Choose a channel you like, whether it's about technology, fashion, sports, or culture, and watch their videos regularly. On Netflix, many series and movies offer English subtitles, which allows you to watch the content while reading the words in English. At first, you can use the subtitles to help you, but as you become more comfortable, try watching without them. Spotify is perfect for listening to podcasts and music in English. Find a podcast on a topic that interests you and listen to it while doing other activities. The more fun you have with the process, the faster you'll improve. The importance of patience and perseverance. Learning to understand spoken English isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process that takes time, effort, and most importantly, patience. It's normal to feel frustrated at times, especially when you feel like you're not progressing as fast as you'd like. But remember, every little effort counts. Don't get discouraged if you don't understand everything right away. Even native speakers sometimes have trouble understanding certain accents or speech styles. The key is to keep practicing and not give up. Every time you listen to English, your ears are improving, even if you don't notice it immediately.